Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kerry. What's up? Wagwan, you good? Good. Now today we're going to talk about something that not a lot of persons talk about, but it's something that I feel happens a lot, and that is lock envy. You know, when you see somebody else's locks and they look so amazing and you're like, why can't my locks look like that? Today, we're going to talk about that and how it affects our lock journeys and how we can help ourselves to accept, what our locks are like and accept the journey for what it is. So if you want to hear more about that or you want to spend some time with me, because nothing wrong with that, right? Just keep on watching. Okay, so let's get into it. When I just started my lock journey, I used to, well, even before I started my lock journey, I used to scroll through Instagram on the Microlocs and Sister Locks hashtags and look at all the locks that I saw on the page, and I would fantasize about what my locks would look like. I even posted an image on my stories. I can't find the story now, but I'm gonna put the lock influencer on the screen and show you, I saw those locks and I was like, damn, I want my locks to look like that. And I think my locks are gonna look like that. So, that's the pedestal I put that person on, and I was like, yes, I need my locks to look like that, like exactly like that. That is, I fell in love with this person's locks. And I had these expectations in my head, going in. And when I did my locks, it looked nothing like those locks. First of all, they looked nothing alike. I think like when we just start our journeys, we always have, these lock gurus or lock influencers, and we're like, we want our hair to look like theirs. But what we need to recognize is that, each of our journeys, they're unique. Our hair types are unique. The length of our hair is unique. How our hair reacts to moisture, whatever is unique to us and our body chemistry and our hair type, and all of that. And I just want to encourage anyone who is about to start their hair journey, their locks journey, who is considering and who they're looking through the hashtags on Twitter and they're watching their favorite lock guru or influencer on YouTube, and they're like, I want my hair to look like hers, or I want my hair to look like his. Guys, I want you to stop, and I want you to, take the notion that your hair is going to look exactly like somebody else's out of your mind. And I want you to appreciate your hair that's on your head and understand that, your hair is going to be uniquely yours. It's going to, react differently to somebody else's hair. It's going to lock up differently to somebody else's hair. Yes, locks follow a certain pattern. If you treat them this way, most likely this will happen. But at the end of the day, your locks, how they look, they're going to be unique to you. And I don't want you to get discouraged if your locks look different to somebody else's locks. You know what I mean? So you might be looking on somebody's hair and you're looking at pictures. Unless they tell you, you can't know, if their hair is fine or thick sometimes, right? Because looking at my locks now, in pictures, that is, a lot of persons wouldn't be able to tell that my hair is like, the strands are extremely fine. You know what I mean? And when I started, my locks were so thin, I was worrying, oh Lord, did I do them too small? Do I need to combine these locks? Because ultimately I wanted this amount of locks. I wanted like 500 to 600 locks. I ended up with 600. So I had the correct amount that I wanted, but when I looked at them, I thought, oh Lord, these locks are too thin. But they weren't. You know what I mean? I just trusted the process. At the end of the day, I looked at my lock crush's hair and I was like, their hair is their hair and my hair is my hair. And I have to just, accept my hair for what it is and learn to love my locks for what they are. And trust me, the second I stopped comparing my hair to someone else's hair, it was a revelation. I saw my locks, and I was like, yo, I love these locks. They're beautiful. And then they started filling out and they looked uniquely mine. You know what I mean? I know I see persons with similar locks to mine, but nobody's locks look exactly like mine. And that's the beauty of locks. You know what I mean? Comparison is the thief of joy. And I'm sure you guys have heard that saying countless times. Don't compare your hair journey, and what your hair is like to someone else's, right? What you're doing in that moment is comparing your start to their middle, because they've already been through the beginning process and you might not have seen, unless they share a before and after picture, what their hair was looking like before. You know what I mean? You might not have seen, that they thought the hair was, picky or looked weird, or, whatever the case may be. They probably thought they went through an ugly stage and they were probably hating their locks in the beginning as well. You know what I mean? So although there are people who don't go through the process or the stage of hating their hair, but there are a lot who do. And then when their hair grows and matures, it's the most beautiful thing. And I happen to not like the term the ugly stage, because to me, there is no ugly stage. Each stage is what it is. You're supposed to grow into the next stage. A flower doesn't start out in full bloom. It starts as a bud, you know what I mean? And so look at your hair like that. Look and say, all right, then this is how it looks now, but it's going to grow, it's going to mature, and, it's going to it's going to bloom. Your hair is going to bloom. I'm sure there are a lot of persons who have decided to end their lock journeys because their hair doesn't look like, somebody else's hair, or their hair doesn't look like what they're seeing the majority of persons' hair looking like. I want to say to anybody who's contemplating, cutting short their lock journey, just hold on. The beauty is coming. The beauty is coming. Just allow your hair to bloom. Continue taking care of your hair. It will get to the point where you are totally in love with it. And, if at the end of the day you decide this is not really what I want, that's also fine too. But do not compare your hair to somebody else's. You know what I mean? The best thing that I've ever done in terms of, my journey and looking at hair, looking at locks that others have, is to find persons who are at the same length as me, who seem to have similar locks to mine, so that as their hair is growing, my hair is growing, and I can, feel like I have some company, so to speak. It's like we're growing our hair together, but while apart, of course, because they don't know me from Adam. But just find somebody whose hair is in the same stage as yours and just follow along the journey with them. To me, that's a healthier way of enjoying someone else's locks than to look at somebody who's been growing their locks for 10 years. Yes, it's aspirational to look at that and say, yes, I want my locks to get to that length, and I want my hair to look like, that length and that thickness or whatever. But you are not going to get your hair looking like that from the beginning. So the best thing to do is just to follow along with someone's lock journey. And there are a couple of persons on YouTube that I subscribe to because they started, locking their hair around the same time as mine. So a lot of the experiences they were having, it was the same as mine. So I could relate. You know what I mean? I could relate to what they're going through. I could relate to their content. It didn't make me feel bad for not having the same type of hair or the same length or the same thickness. You know what I mean? So I would say follow along with somebody who's at your same stage. It's good to listen to persons who are at a later stage, probably a couple of years down the line, their locks are fully mature, because they can give you insight, right? They can give you insight on what to expect, what not to do, what to do, that sort of thing. So it's very valuable. The information that they have is very valuable, but do not compare your locks to theirs. Okay, it will only end up leave you feeling disappointed, unfulfilled, unsatisfied, and disillusioned with your locks. Love your locks where they are, how they are, and just enjoy the process, because you're going to see so many changes. And to me, the changes are beautiful. Like when I just started, my locks were thin, short, you know what I mean? But just to see them growing and to see them thickening up, that's a joy in itself. And I I can't think of seeing anybody and their locks looking exactly like mine. And that is something to cheer on. You know what I mean? Even though we're all wearing locks, our hair is unique and it's unique to us. And being unique is always something to strive for. So when you look at it that way, it's really a plus. You know what I mean? It's a plus, not a minus. So it's something to be proud of. All right. So I've talked off your ear enough. I'm gonna let you go for the day. It's great to have persons to look up to for your locks. So I want you to tell me in the comments, who are your favorite lock persons? And did you go through the struggle of lock envy? And how did you come out of that? How did you overcome that? All right, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please follow along with my journey on Instagram at Carry On Lock. For my locks, that is. And for my makeup page, it's Carrie Bellum. And my Twitter, which I am on a lot, is Carrie Bellum as well. Guys, it's a pandemic. I keep saying this. Please, 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 please. It's been here for so long, and I feel like if we're all responsible, you know what I mean, we can shorten this thing. Persons have been staying indoors. Well, the lockdown has lifted now, but persons have been responsible, wearing their masks, sanitizing, social distancing, but there are persons who have not been. And that is why we're still experiencing the pandemic. So I just want you guys to please be careful. Let us be the ones who are responsible. You know what I mean? Mask up, sanitize still, because the Delta variant is out there. We don't know what's happening. So just be better safe than sorry. It's better to be safe than sorry. So guys, mask up, social distance, sanitize, and until next time, bye. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.